Hello and welcome to Drive It, the Motor Magazine. Coming up, Porsche's new Panamera range topper, the Turbo S with a hybrid heart. Lots of room in the Peugeot Traveller. And the new Skoda Karoq. Car tester Emmanuel Schaefer presents the successor to the Skoda Yeti, the Karoq. He thinks the improved design should appeal to a wider variety of tastes. Now he'll see what else it has to offer. At first glance, it could be confused with a Skoda Kodiaq, but the new Karoq is more than 30 centimeters shorter than its big brother and more than 200 kilograms lighter, with a curb weight of just 1.5 tons. And the family resemblance doesn't stop at the Kodiaq. The Karoq has incorporated many other features typical of Skoda and its VW parent. Emmanuel mentions Volkswagen's modular transverse engine platform. This allows the various brands within the Volkswagen Group to build their own models based on this platform. For example, VW's own T-Roc or Seat's Ateca. A range of 2 gasoline-powered and 3 diesel engines are available for the Karoq, with outputs from 85 to 140 kilowatts. We tested the 2-liter diesel with 110 kilowatts of power. With a stick shift, it carried the Karoq from 0 to 100 in 8.7 seconds with a top speed of 196 kilometers per hour. It'd be hard to miss the design elements the Karoq has borrowed from the Kodiaq. No paternity test needed here. The familiar 4-eyed face and Skoda grille dominate the front. As has become the norm in nearly every segment, Skoda's Karoq features an array of driver's assist and safety systems, predictive pedestrian protection, city emergency brake, park assist, and many others. And, as is the case with most of Karoq's competitors, these assists come at an extra cost. At least the driver won't have to deactivate them when they're not needed. At the back, LED taillights ensure good visibility. Depending on whether the seats are up or down, the cargo space ranges from 479 to 1,810 liters. Stowage space and hooks are an added asset. The Karoq seats differ from the Kodiaq's. Skoda geared them more toward a younger target group of buyers. The interior has been kept simple but smart, with good workmanship and fine materials. A handy solution for drinks has been integrated into the Karoq center console. Studs in the bottle holders allow occupants to open and close bottles with only one hand. The optional digital instrument cluster offers a choice of 4 different display modes. The 9.2-inch infotainment system supports gesture control. Karoq buyers can choose between the 6-speed manual and the 7-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission. All-wheel drive is available as an option. Emmanuel notices the Karoq absorbs road bumps quite nicely. As an SUV, it is set higher and the suspension's a bit softer. And with the all-wheel drive on this test car, it can go off-road with no problem. With 18 centimeters of clearance and a ramp angle of nearly 20 degrees, even rough roads and big chuck holes won't stop it. An electronically controlled multi-plate clutch combines data from various sources, such as the RPMs, steering angle, and longitudinal and lateral acceleration for the optimal distribution of torque. Emmanuel's decided that all in all, the Karoq is a success. It owes quite a lot to its big brother, the Kodiaq, but it's far more compact. And that makes a difference. That enhances dynamics, especially in curves, and improves the chances of finding a parking spot. The Karoq starts at under 24,300 euros in Germany, while a Kodiaq will cost at least 2,000 more. Our car tester Klaus Niedzwitz says if you want a vehicle that's a sports car and a luxury sedan in equal measures, the Panamera Turbo S e-Hybrid is ideal. It boasts 680 horsepower and a top speed of 310 kilometers an hour. So to really put the car through its paces, Klaus has brought it to a Canadian racetrack. The launch of the Panamera 4 e-Hybrid made it clear that electric motors and sporty driving can go together. What's new is that now, the high-end model Panamera Turbo S e-Hybrid also boasts hybrid technology. Until now, Turbo S designated the mightiest engine available in a series. Now, Turbo S and e-Hybrid are appearing in combination. With the first Panamera generation, Porsche wanted to show that it's possible to make a typical Porsche sports car in a four-door version. The result? A coupe-like sedan with ample legroom, even in back. The first-generation somewhat stumpy rear is history. Now the second-generation Panamera has a much more elegant look. So you wonder, why not from the get-go? The electric motor can turn the Panamera into a stealthy vehicle, but its V8 can also deliver a roar. Klaus says under the car's hood is an elaborate high-end technology, a 4-liter twin-turbocharged engine. Then you've got the 8-speed automatic transmission. And here, painted in red, is its electric motor. These two cables carry electricity from the battery to the front. The electric motor, of course, also generates electricity, which is then fed back into the 135-kilogram battery. The entire system produces about 680 horsepower and 850 newton-meters of torque. That's plenty, says Klaus. To propel such a car to 100 kilometers an hour in only 3.4 seconds requires some serious power. The Panamera Turbo's 4-liter twin-turbocharged V8 and its hybrid module generate a system performance 500 kilowatts and only uses 2.9 liters per 100 kilometers, according to the manufacturer. Klaus says one thing is clear, the Panamera Turbo S e-Hybrid really is an amazing, powerful feat of engineering. It accelerates to 100 in just 3.4 seconds if you really step on it, although that's the ideal scenario. Even genuine racing cars struggle to achieve that. Klaus points out that the electronically regulated and controlled air suspension makes it handle almost like a real sports car. Not only that, says Klaus, it also comes with Porsche's infamous all-wheel drive. That ensures perfect balance, so you don't have to worry about fishtailing.
Der sorgt dafür, dass man hier auch eine sehr, sehr gute Balance hat. Also Unsicherheiten kommen hier gar nicht auf.
As for the interior, Porsche offers features that are already familiar from the regular Turbo. A unique feature of this second generation is the display and control concept. Porsche Advanced Cockpit is standard fitted, has touch-sensitive panels and individually configured displays. In the back, there's more high-end technology. The new Porsche Rear Seat Entertainment uses Wi-Fi to connect to Porsche Communication Management to access radio, media, and vehicle functions. With the additional hybrid motor, the Porsche Panamera Turbo S e-Hybrid weighs in at a whopping 2.3 tons. That makes it as heavy as a Range Rover. The battery pack alone weighs 130 kilograms. Its additional electric drive means an extra 300 kilograms of weight, and that Porsche has called this the flagship model of the series shows just how serious Porsche is about going electric. Klaus's verdict, the car's certainly a blast on the racetrack, but if you're honest, no one actually needs 680 horsepower. Even though it's nice to own, the top range model lists at around 200,000 euros. Kia is rolling out a new sports sedan, the Stinger. The car maker's fastest production model has a 3.3-liter V6 gasoline-powered engine and a top performance of 272 kilowatts. It can sprint from standstill to 100 kilometers an hour in under 5 seconds. Aside from the top-of-the-line engine, Kia is also offering the Stinger with a 2-liter 188-kilowatt turbo gasoline engine and a more economical 2.2-liter turbo diesel with 147 kilowatts. Kia's new sports sedan starts in Germany at around 44,000 euros. Nissan has unveiled its new generation Leaf model, the Leaf 2.0 edition. It's not simply an electric car with better range, it's a mobile power bank. Its vehicle-to-grid system allows owners to use the car's bi-directional battery pack to feed energy into their homes or offices. Well equipped with cutting-edge driver assistance systems, the car emphasizes safety and comfort on the road. After the Mazda CX-5's aesthetic and technical facelift this summer, the Japanese carmaker has introduced an exciting change under the hood. A new top-performance gasoline engine that ushers in new technology. Tester Ronnie Levstek says Mazda has added a high-quality gasoline engine to its range, which puts out 143 kilowatts of performance. And Ronnie points to another new highlight, automatic cylinder deactivation. To date, Mazda's Skyactiv engines have enhanced performance through an especially high compression ratio. Now, the carmaker has made mechanical tweaks to the engine. Ronnie explains the turn-down brings the cylinder count down by 2 while the turbine keeps spinning. A lag-destroying valve system shuts down cylinders 1 and 4, and that quite simply saves fuel at lower RPM. The new engine's performance is impressive, delivering acceleration from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour sprints of 9.2 seconds. Its top speed is 195 kilometers an hour. Mazda says its consumption rating is 7.1 liters per 100 kilometers. The additional technology hasn't changed any of the features typical of a Mazda engine. Mazda is the only major carmaker, Ronnie says, to dispense with turbochargers on most of its gasoline engines, instead cooling the high-compression 4 cylinders with natural aspiration. This is why the engine only really picks up in the high rev zone, achieving a maximum 258 Newton-meters at 4,000 RPMs. Its handling and power delivery are nimble enough to ensure the kind of sporty driving experience you'd expect from the most powerful engine in the range. Mazda's Jochen Münzinger explains the carmaker's intention was to keep the noise level as low as possible. So you would have to have really sensitive hearing to register the engine noise. What's more noticeable is the low fuel consumption, especially when you're driving at lower speeds. Naturally, if you're looking for fuel economy, a lot will depend on your personal driving style. Casual cruising is the key to saving fuel. Jochen Münzinger says low speeds achieve the biggest savings. At a constant 40 kilometers an hour, the cylinder deactivation will cut consumption by about 20%. At 80 kilometers an hour, that figure is still a respectable 5%. Mazda launched the CX-5 back in 2011. Its recent facelift focused on design changes at the front, including slimmed-down headlights. As one of Mazda's most popular models, the CX-5 is paving the way for engines with cylinder deactivation and opening up more possibilities for Mazda in other models. Jochen Münzinger says it's conceivable that Mazda could introduce this 2.5-liter engine with 194 horsepower into other models, as well as integrating the use of cylinder deactivation in other gasoline engines across Mazda's range.
Auch auf andere Benzinmotoren bei Mazda eben noch ausgeweitet wird.
By making further technological strides, Mazda has shown there's still room to improve the classic gasoline engine, but it all still comes at a price. As Ronnie points out, drivers who opt for the new gasoline engine because they don't trust diesel emission values will have to fork out more at the pump, as well as at their dealers. The new four-cylinder engine is only offered with four-wheel drive and automatic transmission and is also only available in the highest trim line. What do a Citroën Space Tourer, a Toyota Pro-Ace, and a Peugeot Traveller have in common? Lots. Underneath the body, they're the same car, which you can tell when you look at them from behind. Our car tester Andre Zimmerman wonders if a vehicle that three car makers have developed jointly can be flawless. Who knows if that's the case? Manufacturer PSA has put the same diesel engines in the three models. Our test car has a 110 kilowatt engine with a 6-speed manual transmission. It's the best of both worlds. Good driving performance and fuel efficiency. Only 5.3 liters per 100 kilometers, says the maker. Andre says the Peugeot Traveller is straightforward and easy enough to handle. What few buttons are there are the basic ones. But Andre doesn't really like the vehicle's easygoing steering. You can basically steer using just two fingers, even though that's not necessarily a problem. One big advantage of the Peugeot Traveller and its siblings, none are higher than 1.90 meters, which means they can easily enter most parking garages. Andre says it's a bit odd when you're parking. The easy steering suddenly turns stiff when you're stationary or moving slowly. The other way around would have been better. A bird's-eye rear-view camera is optional, but because the Traveller only has one rear camera, the picture only loads up bit by bit. Even so, together with the car's parking sensors, it's a great parking aid. The Traveller has a bold look, a lion-esque, brawny front, almost square. It's 1.92 meters wide, not counting the rear-view mirrors, and 1.90 meters tall. The different models only vary in length. Andre says the Traveller only comes with a conventional tailgate, which of course is helpful when you're loading up in the rain. But it's awkward in tight parking spots. Ideally, Andre would have preferred scissor doors, but those are reserved for the utility version. But the tailgate does come with one special function. The rear window can be opened separately. That's useful for loading smaller items onto the back shelf. Cargo capacity varies greatly, depending on how many seats are installed. A glass roof panel and 12 and 220-volt power sockets make the rear interior seating especially appealing. And the front seats come with heating and a massage function. That makes long-haul journeys much more bearable. Andre says the Peugeot Traveller does have some quirks, but those are minor issues that don't diminish its overall quality. This cooperative project between PSA and Toyota has paid off. It's pushed development costs down and consequently lowered the price for buyers, says Andre. 50,000 euros will buy you a very well-equipped car. You can't say that about the star in this segment, the VW T6. That has a downside of its own, so many versions and extras make configuring a T6 a mammoth project.
So viele Extras, dass das Konfigurieren im Gegensatz zum Traveller echt eine Mammutaufgabe ist.
The basic Peugeot Traveller starts at just 36,100 euros, which doesn't offer as much luxury as our test car, but certainly ample space. Classic and vintage cars have a certain elegance and style you just don't see anymore, and they've cast a spell of one kind or another on their owners. Part of it is the challenge and sense of adventure. The owners set out to experience the full power of their darlings. One way to do it is with races and performance tests. Other classics fans put more value on enjoyment and the finer things in life. The vintage car rallies were created for them. On drives like these, the journey itself is its own reward. The route for this year's ADAC Land Partie Classic led through the Spreewald and Lausitz region south of Berlin. This was only the second rally after its auspicious 2016 premiere in the Lake District around Rupen. ADAC's Manfred Voigt confirms that everyone's there to kick back and enjoy. They drive the vintage cars cross-country for an experience that combines cultural attractions, leisure, and automobile fun. After all, the ADAC invented the concept of hiking by car. The close to 100 entries in the ADAC Land Partie Classic draws crowds everywhere they go. It's like a parade of highlights from 85 years of automotive art, and the drivers enjoy a stress-free trip through beautiful countryside. This man is glad they don't have to drag out the road map, and it's relaxing just to follow the easy timetable. His wife points out that they have nothing to argue about. But it isn't always peace, love, and harmony. Once in a while, someone has to let off some steam. This man's having trouble with his cooling system. He'll need the ADAC to help him out a bit. The short breaks are needed to keep everyone in shape and together. At least the drivers don't have to worry about points, times, and valuations. The top priority here is fun, and some urbanites are seeing parts of their country for the first time. This man has been to nearby Cottbus but never explored its surroundings and/or visited the Spreewald UNESCO Biosphere Reserve. Now he can appreciate the region's natural beauty. The next break is at Neuzelle Abbey, where participants present their cars in all their glory to a jury of specialists in the Concours d'Elegance. But no vintage car rally is complete without a trophy. In this case, 15 trophies for the best performance tests and the most outstanding vehicles. By the time they cross the finish line, the drivers are completely relaxed and in the mood to celebrate the classic car life with good food, good music, and good company, and bask in memories of bygone days. This man compares his arrival in Cottbus to passing a guard of honor. People were lining the streets right and left, as if he were an athlete who'd won a championship. Even so, he was in a supporting role because the cars themselves were in the lead role, and he likes it that way. Another points out that they didn't see any stressed out teams crossing the finish line. Instead, they saw people nice and relaxed, headed home after simply enjoying life for a while. That's the idea behind hiking by Vintage Car. He says it's a good approach and hopes organizers will keep the event going. And they've already set next year's route. In 2018, the rally will lead through the Oder Spree Lake District. And next time on Drive It, American lifestyle, we test the Cadillac Escalade. Plus, a visit to Japan's premier car event, the Tokyo Motor Show.